Welcome to the Take Control Podcast, Episode 2, Taking Control of Your Happiness.
What's going on, everybody? It's Bilal here. Let's talk about something that I've been thinking a lot about lately, and that's happiness. So the first thing I kind of want to start off as a baseline is, what is happiness? How do you define happiness? How do you know when you're happy, etc., etc.? So that's kind of like a loaded question, and we're actually filming like a late night podcast. I'm typically in bed like 3 hours ago, but I'll give my colleagues a chance to gather their answers, and I'll start. So for me, happiness is kind of like a pros and cons kind of thing. I noticed that at whatever points in my life where there's just a lot of bad things happening all at once, then I'll just like realize like, okay, a lot of things are sucking. I'm not happy. I need to do something to get myself to be happy. It's not that like one thing bothered me and then I'm like, oh, I'm down, etc. And then when this happens, I start noticing that things start falling out of my control, and I kind of like spiral into this feeling like, oh, everything sucks. I don't want to do anything about it. I lose motivation. And it's just overall not a good time. So on the flip side, when I know that I'm happy, it's actually, for me, it's not really a conscious thing. I won't feel that, oh, I'm happy today. Sometimes I'm like, whoa, today was a good day. But at baseline, I think that's my norm. I think the norm is being happy. And you notice when you're unhappy or you had like a wonderful day. So that's about all I got from my definition of happiness.
All right, so you said basically that things start falling out of place. What sort of things do you feel like falls out of place first?
So typically, it'll be like several things happen in different aspects of my life that all compiled at once. And then when that happens, I'll let everything else that didn't fall out of place start to fall out of place.
So could you give like an example of like the external stuff that affects whatever else?
Right. Okay. So I'll give you an example. Say I'm really stressed about an exam because, I'm in school forever. And I feel like I did terrible on that exam. And then at the same time, I'm in an argument with, say, somebody in my family. And then, just to round things off, I'm in an argument with my significant other. And then I realize, I haven't cleaned my apartment. I left my dishes there like for a whole day just sitting there because I just didn't feel like doing it. And then you can see how this all just spirals down into bad things.
By the way, we have our cameras on right now while we're talking to each other, and he definitely sees my background right now. And he sees his mess. So I feel like he's coming at me right now.
I'm truly not. I just noticed that I will leave things messy. Normally, like, I put things away. But when my life gets cluttered, then my environment gets cluttered.
Yeah, I feel that.
That makes sense. Don, do you want to touch on that next?
Yeah, so I actually started not looking for happiness anymore. Because obviously I want to be happy. It is a great thing to be. But the goal in life shouldn't be happiness. And when I was actually talking to the psych officer on board my ship, that was one thing he said. He said, if you're going to be chasing happiness, once you get the happiness, you can lose it. And then what's going to happen? You're going to fall into a rut again. You're going to think, oh, why is my life like this? Just live your life and have the people surrounding you that support you. That's the main thing that you need. So, in my mind, happiness is a little bit of bullshit, but you need it in your life at the end of the day.
So, from what it sounds like to me, happiness to you is maintaining your status quo and keeping the relationships that matter to you healthy.
Yeah, I would say so.
So, all right, before I get into my personal definition, I think, in a sense, you're saying what Bilal's saying in a different light. Bilal's saying that happiness is like a state. You don't say, oh, aha, I'm happy today, unless you have like an exceptionally good day. So the way you're describing it is kind of like the opposite. Like, you maintaining the relationships that matter to you is your definition of being happy. Like, you don't need to look at happiness as like, oh, I got my dream job. Oh, I finally got this girl's number. Oh, now she's my girl. Like, that's not like a realistic, I guess, way that you should be judging happiness. Happiness is, it could be somebody's ceiling of happiness could be, get in that car that they've wanted their whole life. But I believe, and again, I'm obviously no professional, that a healthy level of happiness is, in a sense, living within your means. And I'm going to get to this now. So my personal viewpoint of happiness, for me, and I've applied this recently. Well, not recently. I've been applying this for a while. Is living in the moment. For me, particularly, this is huge because I'm very big, or I used to be very big, on either dwelling over something from the past that I can't control anymore, or getting too anxious and nervous about stuff in the future that I can actively control and affect by changing how I act in the present. And to to carry on from that point, what brings happiness to me while being in the moment is feeling like I'm contributing to something greater than just myself. I was stuck in a rut, and I'll wait for the stuck in a rut till a later point in the episode. But feeling like I'm contributing and, in a sense, pulling my weight, doing something for society, that is truly what brings me happiness. Knowing that I'm not pulling away from somebody else's, like, quote unquote, life force. Like, I'm not making anybody else's day worse. I'm doing something that's going to make somebody else also do something better or feel better. I also have a lot of happiness. I feel very happy when I'm improving in something. I'm very competitive driven in all aspects of my life, and my professional life, and my social life, and my own mental state with myself. I need to feel like I'm constantly improving from how I was yesterday. If there's something that I did wrong today, like this morning, if I showed up late to work, I'm not going to dwell on it the rest of the day. Like, oh man, I really screwed up today. In the future, I'm going to remember how that feeling felt. I'm going to make sure not to repeat it. That's where I get my happiness from, not repeating my mistakes. And then I guess this last little point to hit on before we start moving on is I feel very happy and a lot of sense of accomplishment when I deliver on something. And this can go from being knowledgeable on a topic or being that person that somebody can talk to when they need to.
Can you give a point from like probably the last week?
Of which topic?
Either one, just like helping somebody with knowledge or something like that it really stood out. It really stood out in the last week.
So I'll give a quick little two prong to that. So at work, the person that's working directly above me, that's supposed to be taking care of a lot of management side that I've never been exposed to, is on leave, and it's been on me to take a lot of weight that I shouldn't be carrying, so that way people above even that position don't have to do. And filling that role, and I'm not going to, like, in a sense, exceeding in it, but filling in bigger shoes than I'm supposed to, and then getting recognized and getting acknowledged, like, yes, I'm doing this. And honestly, probably a lot of people either wouldn't care to do it or wouldn't want to do it. But me still being able to do it, I feel a sense of happiness from that I'm that type of person that wants to fill that role.
Would you say you were taking control of the situation?
I would definitely say
I'm sorry. I'll see myself out.
And then for me to share the light now.
I'm happy that we finally know why we're doing this at midnight now, when me and Bo have to be up in like 4 hours. Yeah. So that asshole went on leave, so now you're stuck with his job. Okay.
It was a female.
Oh, okay. Her job. It's her.
No, she's a good person. But I guess last point real quick before we move on. being that person that my friends can talk to for a non-biased opinion. I really enjoy deep down that my friends, my cousins, my family know that they can come to me and I'm going to tell them. And this ties on a little bit to what we talked about last episode. But me knowing that they know they can talk to me and they're going to receive genuine advice, that makes me happy that's established. But I've been talking for way too much. So Bilal, if you'd like to take on this next point,
please,
Donnie,
you just need to shut up, Bilal. You got
Whoa,
it.
Whoa, easy, man.
Whoa.
He did say we get toxic. Maybe he was doing some self-reflecting there.
Somebody's refreshed from their nap. Okay, so next thing I want to touch on, and this is actually a perfect transition from what Lawrence was talking about, how to get out of a rut, or when you notice that you've been down, or you're in a funk, or you just know that you're not in your usual state of well-being. How do you get out of it? For me, I kind of touched on this before when Donnie thought I was subbing him. I'm not. For me, when I notice this happening, one of the first things I will do is clean the hell out of my apartment. I'm talking vacuum, sweep, everything. Because I feel like once I did that, I accomplished something, right? Going from not wanting to do a single thing, everything sucks, I want to do this, to at least getting one thing done, you get the domino effect to start to fall. And two, I firmly believe that maintaining a clean environment just helps you keep a cleaner mental state, work state, etc. But maybe that's a personal thing, I don't know. But for me, the first thing is cleaning. That's what gets the dominoes to kind of fall. For someone else, it could be the gym or physical exercise, which I wish it was for me, but I'm a lazy bum sometimes. It happens. And then two is I try to make time to do something that I enjoy, that I actively enjoy. Some days that'll be watching a show. Currently, it's Curb Your Enthusiasm. You should all watch it. It's amazing. Or it'll be going out, exploring, taking pictures. Just something that will not stress me out, and I can just zone out of everything else, be present in this thing that I'm enjoying. And
By the way,
yeah,
Bilal has been taking really good pictures, so go on his Instagram and like them.
Thank you, man.
He'll have a link somewhere.
Some professional page just featured you recently too, right?
That's right.
I saw it.
That's right. One of my pictures got featured on a DC Instagram page, which is pretty cool. So thank you for the support. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about going out and being present and doing the thing you enjoy. And this means that, say, part of the things that have you down is some sort of relationship, friend, partner, family. While you're doing the thing that you enjoy, don't look at your phone. Because then you're going to be like, oh, I'm waiting for this response. Or you're going to see something that's going to bother you. Just strictly be present in doing the thing that makes you happy. And I think that in general, a lot of times busy people, but most people in general, they don't carve out time for themselves. Especially the older we get, the more involved we are, the more responsibilities we have. Sometimes we just have an hour or so, a day to ourselves, and we waste it. And then when we do have free time, we dedicate it to let me go see this person, and we neglect ourselves. And then you can see how that's going to spiral as soon as the work week starts again. So this bounces off what Lauren said, being present. I think that when you're in a rut, you need to actively be in the moment in the thing that you enjoy, because it'll clear your head and make you refreshed and more motivated to do other things. That's all I got. I'm sorry. I feel like I rambled a little bit.
No, you're good. Mine's gonna be real quick. I would say one of the caveats to finding your happiness from living in the moment, which I do. I've catch myself when I'm being too much into the moment. When I catch myself trying to take on too much or trying to be involved too much with what's going on around me. And honestly, to get out of that funk, sometimes you just got to take a step back. And sometimes, and again, this applies for me. Sometimes I do need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. And sometimes it gets to be a double-edged sword sometimes from me driving my happiness from living in the moment. When I get to be too much, like really seeping into that, taking that step back, looking at all the stuff I've done, all the stuff I want to do, and the people that I'm affecting, that's what helps me get out of a rut. When I catch myself, in a sense, feeling like I'm overwhelmed. And that's where my happiness, I see dwindles, when I feel like I'm being overwhelmed.
So you compare being overwhelmed to being in a rut? I just want to
for me personally, yes. And I don't mean overwhelmed with my responsibilities. I mean being overwhelmed with being caught up with, I guess, my current environment, because I have much bigger pictures, much bigger goals than, just, and again, this ties back into where I derive my happiness from. I love being good at video games. You guys know this.
You sweaty bastard.
Exactly. So sometimes I get in a funk when I'm too dove into, or I guess too committed into being the best I can be in that. I'm now lacking from my bigger picture goals. That's where my funk comes in. Sometimes I just gotta take a step back. I don't need to be too invested in what I'm doing sometimes, and that applies for me. And that's when I notice.
I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna bounce off that real quick. I didn't mention this because I was rambling, but another thing I like to do, this is depending on your time, jumping into new things makes me happy, right? It's always good to have something you look forward to spending your time doing. It's a bonus if that thing is productive to your overall plan in life, or just gives you some sort of benefit other than, mindlessly like watching something, which I'm not, pooping on. I think it's necessary. We all need to relax. But tackling on something that excites me, that new feeling of like starting to get obsessed with the thing you're doing, makes me kind of invigorated, or like revived, I guess, for like a better word.
Always being a student. Really, that's where that comes from. You enjoy the process of learning, so you constantly finding something new that makes you a student again. In a sense, would you say it brings you that happiness feeling?
The caveat being,
hold on. I don't want to tie that into being a student in the school sense.
Oh, okay,
being a student in the sense of expanding your knowledge.
Yes,
you're now a student.
Yes,
in a bigger. Yes. Okay.
Anybody that knows.
Yeah, no, I know you don't want more school-time student.
Yeah. But anybody that knows me, especially lately, I think I've been making this more public. I love learning new things, but things that'll like benefit me some way. And I think my goal in life is to just be like, besides happy, is have like a myriad of skills and hobbies and things that excite me, things that I can get better at. Overall, kind of like a modern day, like Renaissance man.
Like a jack of all trades.
Kind of, yeah. One of my friends, shout out this person if you ever listen to this. He told me that he's like, you remind me of kind of like a Renaissance man. And it didn't hit me until like just now. I was like, yeah, that's like kind of like what I want to be. Like, I want to just be into a lot of things, be pretty good at a lot of things, and just keep picking up more new things.
All right, that sounds good.
I feel like that the same way sometimes, to be honest. But Don, go ahead. I haven't heard your ugly voice in a while.
Thank you for the introduction.
Yeah.
So basically, why you get out of the rut? I spoke about this in the last episode. You should definitely go watch that if you haven't watched it yet. I journal all the time. It's a big thing for happiness. Basically, if I find myself in a rut, pick it up, look at it, what I did wrong, what I did right. Right now, I left at work because I had duty yesterday, because I bring every duty day because it's so stressful at duty. Besides that, though, there's really not much. I just another thing that gets me out of rut is just hanging out with the boys. Not even hanging out with them, even just talking to them on Discord or something. Like, it's something to do throughout my day besides just sitting in my room and going to the gym. It's something else to do.
I don't mean to cut you off, but would you say that when you catch yourself in a rut, you feeling like you connect, you belong somewhere, helps you get out of that rut. Like you belong in this friend group. You're an integral part of this friend group.
Oh, that's so cute of
Would
you.
say that?
But yeah.
Well,
No, I'm joking. I'm probably fucking with you.
don't get me wrong. Nah, I got nothing to say. You caught me. I was being corny. Yeah. You caught me. Go ahead.
Yeah, he loves me. But yeah. I would say that. Yeah. Because in Virginia right now, I feel like I'm very out of place from a lot of these people. You probably feel the same way. It's just, I don't know, man.
Do you? I'm sorry. I'm really curious. I've never seen your handwriting, and I'm getting a mental image of what it is, but I want confirmation.
It's hieroglyphics.
Handwriting?
Yeah. Can you point a piece of paper at the camera so I could just, for my own curiosity?
You ever see like those scriptures in like the caves? It's actually no writing. It's just pictures. It's just pictures.
It's just symbols.
It's just. Oh, I feel bad today. It's a
frowny face. Kind of looks like that.
Bring it closer.
With the work journal.
Yeah, that's my work journal.
Oh, okay. Now you know, better than I expected.
It's
really?
Actual words for those at home.
Yeah,
see words.
They're legible.
It's not just stick figures. Actual English words.
Fixing a gun. It's not just a gun being broken with an X on it. It's actually written down.
All right. Sorry, I kind of sidetracked us there. I got curious.
Yeah, you had to make it funny. It's all right. But yeah, that's really all I do for everybody. I don't know. What do you guys want to take this off to next? Any other ideas?
All right, so let's switch gears and talk about things that haven't worked for us when we were in a rut. And again, I'll start us off. For me, I noticed that when I'm stressed out, and this always happens when I feel like I'm being stressed out from every aspect of my life. This will be school/work. This will be socially. This will be, oh my God, I feel like I'm getting out of shape. I'm eating like crap. All at the same time. I noticed that I just shut everything out. I'm talking personal relationships, professional relationships. I'm just like in my own head, basically. And I won't, do my usual talking to the boys every day. I'm just terrible at answering. And I'm just I get into this thing where I just don't want to talk to anybody because I'm stressed. And that's terrible for your well-being. It's terrible for the things and people that matter to you. And it's just generally not a good strategy because even though you think that, by doing this, I'm going to fix this thing that's stressing me out, it doesn't often work that way because you're still mentally not giving it your all, right? You're still distracted. You're still not at your peak mind state. So even though you think you're helping yourself out, you're just making it worse. And then the people that reach out to you and care about you, you're making that worse too. Then you're not doing your future self a favor. So I definitely think that maintaining the relationships that you care about when you're in these times is essential. We all have family and friends that love us and care about us and would take time out of their day to just talk to you about whatever's bothering you. And for a lot of people, myself included, that helps. So definitely don't shut yourself out.
So I agree big time with that last point that when you do catch yourself getting in that rut, and again, this is in a sense for me is going to tie into out of a funk, but I really do feel that I'm not going to say I've perfected it because I don't think perfection exists, but I think I've gotten extremely, extremely good at managing my stress, that I don't let it boil over to a point of like a shutdown or to me taking it out on others. I think I've got a very good family or support system, right? So I have a very good family. I have a very good friend group that I've been able to rely on and have delivered when I was at those points where my anxiety was getting too much. So now it just doesn't ever get to that point because when I get the slightest itch, I'm talking to you guys. I'm giving a FaceTime call to my parents and just small talking with my parents or my brother, that like just going back to the basics, little small talk. How was your day? Oh, what's going on? What'd you have for dinner? Just that small stuff that alleviates any type of funk I would be in. So I would say towards the point that we were trying to make of what hasn't worked, not to sound that I've quote unquote perfected it, but I think I've gotten very good at not getting to that point where stuff just isn't working for me. I think I'm on a very good, small, gradual slope forward.
Do you remember a time that you can think of right now where you didn't know how to manage your stress and like how you felt then?
Absolutely. I could pinpoint it to the exact day. It's crazy. I'm not going to forget this for a long time. It was a month after my birthday when I was on deployment. The quote unquote relationship that I was in, I'm going to keep it like that. Yeah. It was shaky. Communication was shaky, and I got a late text message for my birthday, and I'm not the type of person that gets very offended when a birthday is missed, but when it's that certain somebody, it hits different, right?
It's the one person you're looking forward to.
Exactly. And it was just the straw that broke the camel's back in a sense, right? So it was just another bullshit excuse that I was given as to why a simple birthday wish wasn't given, that I just didn't say anything. And then weeks later, I was like fighting myself on wanting to say something. But then I remember like the month after my birthday, the anxiety that I was feeling from like going through work, just being on deployment life in general, like that mundane feeling, that I was just nonstop, there's, not to sound like I'm crazy, but just the conversations constantly going on in my head. Oh, I should have done this. Oh, I should have done that. Well, what's going to happen when this happens? What's going to happen when that happens? And again, it ties back into what is happiness for me. I was not living in the moment. I was too caught up on what was going on stuff that I couldn't handle anymore. That was stuff behind me, and getting too anxious over stuff that's in the future that, me not being in the moment and not trying to better myself is only going to make my present me worse. So I would say that was like the last time, and then I'm sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. That was the last time that I really, really knew like I got to do something different. And that's when I started to, and we talked about this last episode, and you hit on it today, starting to journal. Journal was super, super, super powerful and helpful in helping me break that cycle, and simply writing down, why am I feeling this way? What is me feeling this way going to do for my right now? And then once I realized, setting my priorities and seeing the bigger picture, taking a step back, like I stopped worrying about that stuff that I can't change in the now. And so I started living in the moment, and it was a powerful swap. And a day after my birthday last year, that's when I knew to myself I had to change something. So journaling was what I started doing.
Sometimes you gotta tune out the noise and just like focus on you.
For sure. And journaling helped me see that, because again, the time difference was hard to talk to you guys, hard to talk to my parents at a time that I wanted to talk to them, because the window to talk to you guys, to talk to my parents, was 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, my time. And,
yep.
After a long day of work, and at that time, I was still maintaining that gym cycle. I wanted to sleep. I had to be up at 4 a.m. I needed that sleep. So I wasn't giving myself that support system because I was, drained from the day.
That's how deployment goes. Like, were you 14 hours difference at that point?
Yeah, I was 14 hours ahead at that point from the East Coast.
I think I was 7 hours ahead. Like, trust me, everyone, like, it really, like, it sucks when you have to tell somebody something, but they're not going to get that text for probably, since I'm 7 hours ahead, they're probably not going to get that text for another 10 hours. And they're not going to give you that response. It's horrible. And what I like that you said earlier was noticing that there was a problem. Like, even though you said it was a month later, at least you saw there was a problem. Which actually brings me into my point, which where I found my problem, how I knew I was in a rut. It was actually I was at work, and I did a shitty job at work, and my chief gave me basically a counseling shit saying that I was doing bad work. And in my head, I was like, I do not give a fuck about this counseling shit whatsoever. And usually I'm happy to go to work, I'm happy to get the job done. And I realized that later that night. It was like I was waking. I was like at 7 o'clock in the afternoon. I went to the gym, went to eat, and then went to sleep. It was probably like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like staying up all night. I was like, why did I not care? I was like, and that was one of the warning signs I saw. And then I was looking at all the other warning signs. Like, I keep my headphones in. I stay to myself. When I'm on watch, there's about 6 other people on watch up there with me. I'll sit there by myself and looking at basically the screen for our weapon system, and I wouldn't talk to anybody. So that's where how I feel like I know I was in a rut, and that's why I seeked help at the end of the day. And if you notice even the slightest thing wrong with you, ask somebody else. Because when I asked somebody else, when I finally opened up to who is my roommate right now, he was like, yeah, bro, you do seem kind of off. We were working 2 different shifts, and he even could tell. So I definitely understand what you mean by that. Like, just the anxiety, and then, like, you feel like you're by yourself at the end of the day.
And it's a good point you brought up, and I just want to tie it in one more time. Why I was feeling in that rut was that feeling of isolation. Like, I was going to work, and the people that were assigned to my shop at the time were very negative people. And I knew they were negative people. I wasn't trying to like necessarily be friends with them. I kept it, cool in the work sense, but I didn't have any type of deep conversations by any means with with the people that were assigned to the shop that I was working at. And we had we don't call it the psych officer for us. We have what's called a chaplain. It's tied in with like religious services, and he has a background in psychology. So that's supposed to be the person you go to talk to when you are, in that rut.
Yeah.
But he was new, and honestly, it turns out he's a very good guy. But at the time, he just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and he didn't give that I can go to this guy with my problem, and I'm gonna get a genuine response from him, because he came off way too. Oh, I'm going to help you guys out. Don't worry. Whatever problem you're feeling, I'm going to fix it. He was like too happy-go-lucky. And I was like, man, this guy's full of shit. Spoiler, no, he's a good guy. But at the time, it wasn't somebody I felt like I could trust to talk about my problems that would give me an actual solution, and not just some random bullshit that I can Google. Oh, I'm upset. And then they're going to, Google's going to tell me what to do. That's what I felt like this guy was going to do.
Actually, it's going to show you the Drake song. But anyway.
Actually, it might. I understand what you mean too by that, because I saw my chaplain as well before I went to the psych officer, and I felt like they're good people. They really are good people.
Yes, and in hindsight, I should have still just went, but it all worked out in the end. I'm definitely at this point right now the most solved, I could say, for my happiness.
Yeah, like you said, I didn't go to the chaplain. I had to go seek somebody else's help.
Well, this has all been good conversation, but the last few minutes have been sad. So let's make things brighter. What's one thing you guys are looking forward to?
You want to start off, Billy?
Before the end
you start
of
off,
this
Ball.
year. You want? Okay, all right.
Yeah. What you excited to see me later?
Peter Lewis.
I was gonna say that, but since you said it, I kind of don't want to say it.
Okay.
But yeah, everyone in our large friend group besides 2 who will be missed will be at a fancy steak dinner all together for the first time in literal years, and I can't wait. But after that, I'm probably going to get sick of some of them, so I'll take a break after that.
Oh, you go on hibernation?
I can't wait. That is going to be a great, great time, and that really does tie into the happiness part again. It's just like that involvement, that you're with people that appreciate you and you appreciate those people. Don, you want to take that next? What you're looking forward to?
Oh, what I'm looking forward to? Really is honestly that's our gentleman's dinner. I'm looking forward to that. I am. Another thing I'm looking forward to is hopefully winning my fantasy football league, which I'm doing in the playoffs now. Which everyone wish me luck.
Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
You suck.
Go sports.
And that's really it right now. Those are only 2 things I'm looking forward to right now. But year's almost over. New Year's gonna come. New opportunities.
You forgot one. I know something you're looking forward to that you didn't mention. That's
Oh, New Year's.
That's how well I know you. No.
The drinking competition?
No.
Oh.
Well, I don't care about that.
That's gonna be a good time.
No. Donnie.
Oh my god. Sex?
No. Dude, what?
Wait,
what?
huh?
Get your mind out the gutter. Better.
Wait,
Better than all of that. The buffalo slice.
Wait, huh?
From our local
Oh
pizzeria.
my god.
The buffalo slice from our local pizzeria.
Oh, that
Delicious.
does hit different.
Yes.
You know, I was looking through pictures earlier on my phone, and I have about, I want to say 13 pictures of just the buffalo slices I sent to you throughout the last couple of years. I was like, oh my god.
Every time Donnie goes home and I'm not home, and I'm like, send me a picture of it. He doesn't even need to ask what it is. He just knows. He goes, he sends me a picture of it, and then I get upset. But we'll plan something. We'll all go get.
Oh yeah, we have to all go at the same time.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. Cool.
And so I could talk for another hour about the stuff that I'm looking forward to, but to keep it quick, I'm really looking forward to my first home cooked meal. Sit down with my parents and my brother. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
Sunday sauce.
Sunday sauce.
Sunday pasta. Come on. Yeah, it actually will be on Sunday too. That'll probably be the first time we all sit together again.
Dude,
that's what I'm.
We're seeing the movie that night.
Oh, I'm gonna. Oh, come on, it's Sunday. You clearly.
No. I just meant that.
Dinner at,
I know.
We eat dinner at 2:00. Come on.
I know. I meant that same day is also Spider-Man.
Yes, it is Spider-Man that night, and you get the fifth wheel.
What? Oh.
Yeah, you get the fifth wheel. Actually, seventh wheel.
Why? Who are you going with?
I got two of my cousins and Michael.
That's fine.
In the row behind you guys.
I know them. Oh, I'm sitting next to the couples?
You're in the row with 3 sets of couples.
Oh, GG's bro.
God.
You know what?
I think you're dead in the middle, too.
I'm seeing this movie tomorrow. We're shooting this on the 16th of December, if anybody was wondering. We're going to release on Tuesday.
It's actually the 15th.
Well,
all right.
For you, it's the 15th. Yeah. So I'm actually seeing it today at 3:30 p.m. And I'm gonna spoil them later on.
Don't you? I will end the podcast.
You're gonna miss out on gentlemen's dinner.
Yeah, miss out. I'm kicking you off.
No, he will. He will. No, if he spoils Spider-Man, I don't think he's gonna make it to gentlemen's.
Yeah, I think I think
spoils the movie.
I think that'll be what ruins our friendship.
Hello.
What's up?
What's with the attitude?
I'm just waiting for still, and I'm fucking cranky.
Why are you cranky? What's he doing?
Because he's getting the fucking yeeks.
He's getting the yeeks?
He's getting the yeeks, and I gotta wait for him to finish the yeeks so I can play Fortnite. Which is ridiculous, because fucking Fortnite trumps yeeks.
So you're mad at one of your closest friends for having sexual intercourse because he's delaying your duos in Fortnite.
Yeah, it's fucking... You don't think that's a little bit ridiculous?
It is ridiculous.
But you're just as bad.
I'm just as bad?
Yeah, because I'm not invited to the Nick game. So fuck you too.
Oh, she's there tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Bilal and Don say hi. They also agree with you.
Fuck them too.
Whoa, who are you talking to?
Fuck Donnie for not playing with me either, because he had to wait to record. And that's loud. And just screw Bilal for leaving Staten Island.
Oh, okay, that's valid.
So, yeah.
Bilal wishes that you lose every single last shiny Pokemon. But hey, Ted, guess what? I hung up.